Now to our main discussion this morning. The crisis in the Performing Musician Association of Nigeria seems not to be abating, as there have been several developments. Just recently, Chief Fruitful Mekunye is said to have emerged as the president of PMAN. It says the body has officially resolved its prolonged leadership crisis, merging its once divided executive bodies under a unified structure. But Mr. Okafor says he's still the president of PMAN, and all allegations against him has been dispelled according to the certified copy that the CTC of the police investigation report. The report shows that Mr. Pretty Okafor has been exonerated of all allegations, including financial misconduct, forgery, and breach of PMAN's constitution. Now, join us for this discussion is Chief Fruitful Mekunye and also Faga Ben Paul. Good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning. It's been a challenge with PMAN, the crisis back and forth. Is there any crisis still in your party? But before you answer that, I love your name, Fruitful. Yeah. How fruitful are you?
Very fruitful. Very, very fruitful. I've impacted a lot of lives. And I've done a lot for the society. And that earns me the chief, everybody calls me today from my community. I'm recognized for the good work.
Was that the name you were christened with?
Yes, Fruitful.
Okay. Because I read your story from being a bus conductor to some challenges that you passed through. Before we go into the crisis in PMAN, so let's just enjoy ourselves with
this. When I came into Lagos, it was pretty tough. Okay. So I had to go through so many things to succeed. I went to being a conductor, to taxi driver, to this, working so hard to earn my living. And finally I did, God bless me. And I was able to get to the top and helping a lot of people along.
Great, thank God for that.
It's a wonderful experience.
Yes, thank God. Who is the president of the Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria?
Without just saying, with proof, Chief Fruitful Mekunye is the legally pronounced.
And who pronounced it? Was there an election?
There was an election, on-site election, physical election, and it was beamed live, where a lot of musicians across the nation observed it. And I won the election. So after the election, my opponent was has a reservation, and he went to court. When we got to the court, we decided to broker peace instead of washing our dirty linen.
How did the...
And we brokered peace, and a consent judgment was given in my favor, which pronounced me as the president of PMAN. And I have the CTC to show the whole world. So any other person parading himself or herself as PMAN president is doing that to the content of the law. Is acting in the content of the law. And
that judgment has been described by Pretty Okafor as a kangaroo judgment, because he's still contesting as the chairman that is describing himself at the moment as the
authentic... That is the content of the court.
Chairman of PMAN.
You cannot say a judgment from the court of competent jurisdiction. It's a kangaroo pronouncement, judgment. Are you saying our judiciary or the judge doesn't know what he or she was doing?
But he says he still has a CTC showing that he's still the president. So what is the confusion?
CTC? What CTC does he have? Has he shown any CTC when he came here or to the world? I have a CTC pronouncing me as the president of PMAN. And the CTC has been copied to the Commissioner of Police, the trade union, even to the IGP.
There is an allegation on yourself and some other people working with you of
Sorry,
breaking into
the CTC clearly restrained him from parading himself as the president of PMAN. So whatever he's doing is acting on, to the content of the law. It's not obeying the law. And Court 48 is ready for him already.
What do you mean by Court 48?
Form 48. Form 48
okay.
is ready.
So what do you mean
him.
by Form 48?
Form 48, that's content of the court that is already acting in content of the court.
Okay.
So they are serving in court Form 48 now.
Right now, at this moment?
Yeah, to restrain from parading himself or acting in content of the law.
Let me bring in Fagab and Paul. What do you make of all this crisis? There's an allegation on the PMAN led by Mr. Fruitful that they broke into the secretariat of PMAN, and there's a missing $130,000 US. What do you make of all of this?
I might say that this is all false allegation, and they are very, very misleading and concerned. I mean, an office that belonged to the union, to PMAN members, we were working with Pretty Okafor. I work under him as Assistant Secretary General. So we did not break into the office. The day we were in the office, the General Secretary was there. I myself was there. The rugged man was there, who was the chairman of media. The first vice president was there. The second vice president was there. And these were the NWC. So the General Secretary has the key to the office. He runs affairs of the office. So how do we possibly break into an office when we are members of the NWC? And then he claimed that $130,000 were missing in the office and a laptop. I mean, we working in the office, at the same time we entered into our office to hold our meeting.
Do you have, just a moment, do you have video evidence to show
there
for
was
this?
Video evidence to show for it. And the police investigation, they came into the office, they took inventory of all his claims. The first time the police were there, they took the inventory. He did not mention that $130,000 were missing. So these are false allegations, these are mere claims, these are fabricated lies, you know, just to...
So what was... Sorry, to further substantiate what he has just said. All these things happened before I came into the picture, all right? So by the time we had our reconciliation meeting in that same office, he also alleged that my NWC, we break into the office, we stole $130,000. You understand me?
But your name was also mentioned in all of this drama on Purity Okafor's allegation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Before I came into the picture, he alleged they stole $130,000 and a couple of pictures. But when I came into the picture, the day we emerged, we merged together, the other faction, and he also alleged again that my group, my NWC, we stole $130,000 from his office and a couple of laptops. He alleged that. He wrote a petition to the IGP.
I mean, but there are reports that you guys, that you came in, your faction in quote, came in when he was not in the country. Is that true?
Well, it's not my faction. As at the time I came in, he has issues with his own NWC. So he has his own issues with NWC before I came in as a president.
Let me give that question to you then, Mr. Ben-Paul. There are reports and allegations that your faction, in quote, came into the office when Pretty was not in the country. How would you respond to that?
Yes, Pretty, what it means, what that says is kind of false. It's not true, because Pretty was away in the country for the first time. We suspended him when he was away. So, because there was allegation against him of misappropriation of funds and visa fraud involving non-members of PMAN, which he took abroad without informing even the NWC knew nothing about it.
Did you guys follow the due process?
We followed
before giving him that suspension.
Yes, we followed the due process. We served him, we queried him twice. And what the law said, when you query someone, you are giving him a fair hearing. But instead of him to respond to the query, he responded the query with insult, insulting the NWC that he cannot answer to that the NWC, can you imagine someone will say the likes of his vice president and the second vice president don't have the capacity to travel on the trip that involved, that was meant for the PMAN executive to abroad because they don't have fund or they don't have the capacity? How can you assume that as a leader? Do you get? So he took non-executive member to France in Benicicam, which the letter that was inviting PMAN there specifically said that PMAN NWC, that the executive, but he now took non-member, people who we do not know, who doesn't even have an ID card or under registration of PMAN, they have no data, you know, and he took them to France without letting us know.
So he was suspended and removed in his absence?
Sorry?
He was suspended and removed in his absence when he was not around? He
was suspended. Now the Constitution said you can suspend any erring member, our Constitution, pending disciplinary action. So when we suspended him, he was supposed to come, and then we will call for NEG, who will now table this matter for the disciplinary action to be taken against him.
And did he come for that?
Yeah. When he came, the first thing he did, he went straight into the office and broke the office, bringing all kinds of thoughts in the office. And that was why we now petitioned him to IG.
I want you to repeat that. Did you say that he broke into the office,
yes,
into the PMAN? Like,
yes.
Okay.
He was suspended. By law, he was not supposed to go into the office.
Okay.
And then
he has been suspended, but he has the key to the office. No. Before his suspension.
When he was suspended, when we suspended him.
I'm looking at using the word broke into the office. That's what I'm saying.
We suspended him, we changed the lock of the entrance. And we have our security there, and we gave the instruction to the security. Policemen were there that, look, this is the new status quo. The president has been suspended for
gentlemen. We don't have more time on the program this morning, but quick one. Pretty Okafor has a right of reply on this program to also defend himself in some of these allegations that you guys have made on him. So, but what is the way forward? Because looking at the crisis in the party, two people are claiming to be leading leading PMAN at the moment.
Yes. Two people are not claiming to be leading PMAN. Whatever he's doing is an illegal activity and will soon be brought to book.
So if he was, okay, continue.
Will soon be brought to book. But whatever he's doing it, and I'll take the opportunity to notify the general public not to deal with him. Anybody dealing with Pretty Okafor as PMAN president is doing so at his or her own peril. I have a court judgment that proclaimed me PMAN president, and that matters. Nigeria is ruled by the rule of law. Are we?
Yes.
We are to obey the rule of law, and that stands until that judgment is set aside. He must not parade himself as PMAN president. Final. So I call him a distractor.
Okay. What message do you have for Mr. Pretty Okafor?
It should change. So it should chant a new course.
So you guys are not seeking a peace deal.
Obey the court order. Primarily, obey the court order. You are going against the court order is going against the country itself, because the country is ruled by the rule of law. So that what he's doing is not the best. It should chant a new course.
Faga, is there any plan for a peace deal? Just in 30 seconds.
Yeah, you know, there are pending case against Mr. Pretty Okafor as FID, which he claimed that he has been cleared, but he wasn't cleared.
Any plan for a peace deal?
So now,
any plan for a peace deal in 30 seconds?
Yeah, there is a big plan for PMAN. The leadership of Chief Fruitful.
I made mention of peace deal.
the fact that he does not want any peace deal.
Okay.
He is taking PMAN as his birthright.
He has been offered a hand of
we extended a letter of reconciliation.
Yes.
Okay.
Which he
but
refused.
He just have to. We have to go now. Fruitful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Thank you
we
very
hear from
much.
him
Yeah.
soon.
We also have. Well, Pretty Okafor has a right of reply.
Yes.
On the
we have matters in
on
court.
the same program.
We have matters in
for
court.
him to also come and
Yeah,
clear
for him to
himself.
come and clear, yeah.
Pretty Okafor there to also come and clear some of these allegations on the program. Fruitful Mekunye, Chief Fruitful Mekunye.
Thank you.
Many thanks for coming.
I appreciate that.
On the program this
Nice
morning.
having me. Yeah.
And Faga Ben Paul,
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming.
It's nice having us.
Thank you very much.